going on, Shoe Crew? We are here with a brand new Smite build video. I am your host, Shuey. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, guys. As you can see on screen, we are going over Kuang, the mage jungler-esque type. He's a jungler, guys. He's an assassin, but he's a mage. Technically, he is a mage, but he is actually an assassin. He's probably one of the top tier, if not the best jungler in the meta right now for Season 3. And we're going to go ahead and cover him just really quick. I know I said I wasn't going to be doing a lot of other than ADCs until I covered all of them. But as of right now, in the Season 3 meta, all ADC builds are pretty much the same. Like, I've covered anybody that could possibly be different. Pretty much everybody else is the same. Hou Yi's the same as Chiron. Neith's pretty much the same as Chiron. There's a little bit of a difference. You can build Ichavail. You could not build Ichavail. You could build Odysseus' bow. You could not build Odysseus. It's the same thing for pretty much everybody. You have 3 different options that you can go with on a one piece, and then the rest of the build is pretty much cloned. So on this one, I figured I might as well jump in and do some of the top tier on solo, jungle, stuff like that, so that a little bit of the other people in the Shoe Crew can get a taste of the builds that I'm throwing out for Season 3. And we're just gonna go ahead and do this real quick, because if you're not rocking the Dragon Knight Ao Kuang, you're not playing Ao Kuang, right? Let's just get that straight out of the gate. Dragon Knight Ao Kuang is the best Ao Kuang, hands down. Dragon King can suck it, because Dragon Knight is 10 times better. We're gonna go ahead and quickly cover his abilities. You have his passive, which is his sword can hold up to 3 charges, while his sword is sheath. That is how they recharge. Every time you cast an ability, it does a damage increase, and the charge damage increases 5%. So it's pretty simple. Just make sure when you're running around, you're not slashing your sword randomly. Make sure you keep it in the sheath so it can charge up to 3 abilities. It'll make you hit harder when you finally run into somebody. Water Illusion, which is his teleport and his stealth. So pretty much, you vanish forward. It's a little bit of a dash, teleport-esque type thing. And when you do, you leave a clone of yourself in a big AoE, kind of like Loki, and you're invisible for a short time. And then also you can tap your 1 again to make it explode, dealing 290 cap plus 70% of your magical power. It's very, very effective, at getting away, and also with kind of like a cross-lane clear wave type thing. So what I like to do is, like, if I'm going from solo lane over to my right side camps, what I'll do is when I'm crossing across middle lane, I will decoy or throw whatever you want to call it right in the middle of the wave, which can hit both the archers and the tankmens. And then while I'm going into jungle, I'll pop it to help the mid laner clear the wave, and I'll get XP and gold for clearing the wave as well. It's very, very effective, and I would definitely recommend you guys use it. His next ability is Dragon Call. You summon 6 dragons around you. They'll float around, do a bunch of stuff, and every time you hit someone with a basic or a minion with a basic, it will take away one of your dragons, but increases your attack power by 95 cap plus 30% of your magical power per hit. And then also you can press it again to throw the dragons forward, and it does 35 plus 15% of your magical power per remaining dragon, so they can cap out at 6 times 35, whatever that math is, plus 15% of your magical power is what you can throw if you just do it right away. Also, it applies a 30% slow for 1 second, and it adds a quarter of a second per remaining dragon. It's very useful to kind of close the gap, or also kind of proc like the poly hit. You can blow people up with it, guys. You can just absolutely demolish them with this build. You will have a lot of fun if you play this. His 3 is Wild Storm. You unleash a storm of lightning from his sword, damaging all its cone effect. And pretty much you shoot lightning from your sword in a cone. It's your main camp clear, main wave clear, everything like that. You got to be kind of close, which kind of sucks for waves, but it's alright. You're a jungler, you're not really going to be clearing too many waves anyway. Caps out at 290 plus 40% of your magical power. Very, very effective, guys. 7-second cooldown, super good for clearing your jungle camps. Definitely make sure you pick this up straight out of the gate. His final and his ultimate is the King of the Eastern Seas, which is your execute and also your getaway and also your god removal and crazy stuff like that. Pretty much when you get another god down to 30% of their health, you are then able to execute them, and when you execute them, it does it heals you for 30% of your life, and then also you turn into a dragon and you float above the map, and you can actually dive back down, doing 300 cap plus 50% of your magical power. And also it does like 290 plus 50% of your magical power, but that doesn't really matter because it's pretty much always going to be an execute unless you don't time it right, which I recommend you get the timing down because it is super effective as an execute. and then also a re-entry depending on your health. And then there's the cooldowns and stuff right there. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of skip the abilities. I'll go quickly just over it real quick. Just Wildstorm, Dragon Claw, or Dragon Call, Water Illusion, cap out Wildstorm, cap out Dragon, cap out Illusion, and cap out your ult every time you can. That's pretty much how it works, guys. But we're going to get straight to the item build as quickly as possible. Now, I actually like to start with Bumba's Mask, of course, because you're a jungler. If you're not using Bumba's Mask and you're a jungler, quit jungling. I'm sorry. But if you're this far into Smite, or if this is your first day, I don't give up on jungling. Give it another shot, but make sure you use Bumba's Mask. I'll cover it really quick. I completely forgot to do that. It gives you 10 MP5. Your basic attacks deal 10 true damage, and your abilities do 10% damage against jungle camps. You're healed for 10% of the camp's max health. And if you have an ally nearby, you get gold as if they weren't there. Because if you don't know, the more people that are around you, it splits the XP and the gold. So we're going to go ahead and throw that on there. And I actually do a power pot start. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be grabbing 3 health pots. You're going to be grabbing 1 potion of magical might, excuse me. And pretty much when you use this, it gives you an additional 50 power for 5 minutes, which doesn't seem like a lot if you're at 20 minutes in the game. But first 10 minutes, first 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, stuff like that, that is super clutch, and you actually start hitting pretty hard right away. The only forewarning about this build is you will not really be going out and blowing people up straight out of the gate. You're going to have to wait until you get probably Poly and Pen Boots, Polynomicon and Pen Boots, which we'll cover here shortly. And then you will probably be able to start blowing people up, or at least getting a couple kills and helping and assisting lanes more often. Pretty much for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, you're just going to be farming as much as possible to get as many levels as possible, as much gold as possible, to get your build rolling as fast as possible. A lot of possibles in that sentence. I kind of feel weird. Alright, 1 power pot. And what you want to do is, once you see that the match starts, not the matches began, not at like 17 seconds into the match, but when it says the match is going to be starting, at 17, anywhere from 19 to 17 seconds, you want to pop your potion of magical might, and then go into the store and buy 2 mana pots, and then rotate to the solo side to clear your camps. That's pretty much the basis of any power pot start, whether you're using Soul ADC or Isis mid or Kuang jungle, or even if you're power potting Sun Wukong solo. You always want to leave in the gap between 19 and 17 seconds, or you're going to be late to your camps and they're going to spawn before you get there, and you're going to be behind the other team and rotate to your lane late, or rotate to mid camps late. So make sure you do that on par. First items we're actually going to be building is we're going to go down to utility, and we're going to be grabbing the Pen Boots, which I believe are Shoes of the Magi. Yep, Shoes of the Magi, which give you 45 magical power, 10 magical pen, and 18% movement speed. Super clutch beginning of the game. The 10 magical pen will help you if you get caught up with the support or with the solo laner. It's not a lot, but it's enough at the beginning of the game to make a difference. Make sure you grab those. Second item is straight out of the gate Polynomicon, not Bancroft style, just use it to quickly get to the tree. Polynomicon, which gives you 75 magical power, 300 mana, and 10% magical lifesteal. And then the big thing, which is the passive, using an ability gives your next basic attack within the next 8 seconds 75% of your magical power as an additional magical damage. This effect can only be applied once every 3 seconds, but the fact that you can apply it every 3 seconds is super crucial. The 300 mana is nice, the 10% magical lifesteal is really nice, and the 75 magical power is super important. This is a very, very high magical power build, and pretty much it helps you just blow people up and obliterate them from all existence. You're going to go ahead and grab that. Now, the third item in this tree, Soul Reaver, which actually is super, super, super powerful early game, guys. You go early game power straight out of the gate. Straight out of the gate, like as early out of the gate as you could possibly go, because you want to hit as hard as possible, as soon as possible. The longer the game goes, the better it is for you. Soul Reaver gives you 100 magical power, 300 mana. When a god takes damage from your abilities, they take 15% of their maximum health and additional damage. Multiple gods are hit, the damage is applied to one with the greatest maximum health. This can only occur once every 60 seconds. That once every 60 seconds seems like it's like, oh, that's not really that big of a deal. You will absolutely tell, going from Polynomicon to Soul Reaver, the huge difference. If you proc both of them at the same time, that's where your blow up potential begins, and we will just keep stacking on that and making it really, really dumb. So we're going to go ahead and add that on there. Next item is actually going to be the man, the myth, the legend, the necessary anything of anything if you're a mage, which is Rod of Tahuti, which gives you a 125 magical power and 15 MP5, increases your magical power by 25%. Like I said, is a huge magical power build, increasing your total magical power by 25%, taking a quarter of what you have and adding it to itself is phenomenal, and I don't need to defend it. And then the next item that we're actually going to grab is a little bit of pen. I actually sometimes, I'll just throw this out there as well. We're going to grab Obsidian Shard, which gives you 70 magical power, and you gain 33% magical penetration, which is really nice, which I'm actually going to switch Rod and Obsidian Shard, because I like getting Obsidian Shard first. This is like the build that I used to run, and then I started building Obsidian Shard a little earlier, and it made it a lot better. Like, you getting that pen as soon as possible is actually really, really nice, and then getting the extra power boost after that is even better. And then finally, we get a little more pen after Ratatouille, which is a brand new item to Season 3, and it's fantastic. If you can fit this into any build, fit it into the build. It is so good. Spear of Desolation, 120 magical power, 20 magical penetration. If you kill an enemy god, all your cooldowns are reduced by 8 seconds. This cannot activate more than once every 30 seconds. So pretty much what this is saying is, as Kuang, killing someone means you're ready to kill someone again, because his cooldowns are already super short. So then when you kill someone, reduce all of it by 8 seconds. I think your highest cooldown is 12. So then you have 4 seconds before your entire kit, other than your ultimate, is ready to go again. So it is insanity, especially seeing how you have an execute. You can execute somebody up while you're waiting up there. Your other thing that has 4 seconds left will be already cooled off by the time you land. You land down, hurt somebody, pop them, blow them up. That's it. That's a double kill, led to a triple kill, led to a quadra kill, led to a pentakill. But yeah, go ahead and add that on there. I'm not guaranteeing pentakills with this build, by the way. That was just me being overdramatic. But yeah, now we're going to go to actives, or relics, excuse me. And we're going to, of course, grab Purification. Purification is too good and too clutch. If you're any jungler anywhere in the world of ever, you must have the Purification. It is too much, and it needs to be in your life. Okay, now we're moving on, and I actually like to run Blink, which Blink, it's not combat Blink anymore, so you have to be out of combat, but a lot of people are going to run from you, and they're going to weaken and curse you a lot to try to slow you down and keep you away from them. So since they're going to be running, there's not going to be combat. You can Blink right up on top of them, pop your dragons, blow them up, GG, no return back to wherever you need to be, and mess some people up. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for the build. We're going to go ahead and throw everything on and do our overcap like we always do. So your basic attack's going to be running at a 234. You got 669 with magical power, which is insanity, and I do not believe that takes Ratatouille into account. So add 25% of 669, that's your total. That might be hard cap, I don't know. 1.37 attack speed with 10 magical lifesteal, 30 magical pen, almost capped on that, 69 physical protection, 47 magical protection, 1958 health with 23 HP 5, 443 movement speed with 0% CDR, and 1484 mana with 23 MP 5. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this video, if you did learn a thing or two, or if you just like listening to my voice and listening to me talk and ramble on about Season 3, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. Also, comment anything down below about this build, any future builds you'd like to see. I am trying to cover the top meta junglers, solo laners, supports, mid laners, stuff like that. I kind of moved on from just purely ADCs now. I pretty much feel like I've covered the top of them. I might as well cover the top of everything else. Comment those down below as well. Also, if this is the first video you have seen of me, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the mouth, because you already know you want to become part of the Shoe Crew. It's where we come to learn a thing or two about Smite, have a good time, and study up and get better at what we do, which is gaming. But I'm going to get out of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace!